What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Hustle Haven. We're your hosts, River the Realtor.
And Tiesha Renee.
And y'all, as usual, we're here to talk about the crazy and rewarding journey of entrepreneurship.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love it. So we have to follow up. I feel like this is the perfect episode to follow up our last episode about building a brand. Really branding on a budget, right? I think one thing Tiesha said in the first episode, look, I'm trying to like outline everything.
We just drop our gems every episode, so
exactly, it's hard to keep
telling.
up. But one thing she talked about was like putting her marketing dollars or putting like her branding dollars into the wrong place. And when you're starting off in entrepreneurship, like you don't just have all of this money. So we thought what better way than, you know, of course, help you build a brand, but how we can do it on a budget.
On a budget. A baddie on a budget.
A baddie on a budget.
But for my man, the ballers on the budget.
Ballers on the budget. Okay, we like that. Baddies / ballers on the budget. That's the title of the episode. That's also a theme for us. Like as we're talking, we have to come up with the name of the episode on the fly. And so that's what this is. Baddies / ballers on a budget.
Period.
So let's just get right into it. I think one of the first things when it comes to branding or like just, you know, building that kind of thing, everybody leans into what?
Social media.
So what are some tips for someone who's like starting a business, who wants to like really kill it on social media, but doesn't have the marketing dollars?
A boost post.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, a boost post is only like, I do like on a weekly basis, and you can spend like $30 to $40. And depending on your type of business though, like I feel like it will really work for e-commerce because when you do a boost post on Instagram, specifically for real estate, you can't like do a specific target audience because of like the parameters. You have to select like this is for housing type of thing. But I feel like for e-commerce, I'm not 100% sure, but they may be able to kind of like edit their audience specifically how they want it.
Can't because you have like fair housing things, right? So we can't target certain demographics or certain things as it pertains to the housing market. But again, if you sell a product and you're doing e-commerce, you can literally do
of service, like, you know, nails, whatever. You may be able to like alter that to exactly what you want. And it literally goes to everybody. I be having people in my DMs from like California. I'm like,
seriously.
I appreciate it, but like, I can't help you.
No, just so y'all don't know. So for people who don't know what a boost post is, pretty much when you're on Instagram, and I know Facebook even gives you kind of like an option like that.
It goes on Facebook now, but you want to get more specific with your Facebook ads. That's
we'll jump into Facebook ads next. But with a boost post on Instagram, you can basically choose a post that you feel like, okay, this is really
up. I look good. I look good.
I need everybody to see this. You can do like the boost post, and it really allows you to like pick out your demographics, like what age range are you targeting, like the area, what kind of hobbies that they have, so they can really push it out. And I think especially if you're in e-commerce or you're selling a product, like it just takes for the right person to see this, y'all. I cannot tell y'all how many times I bought something just because like
from a sponsored ad.
A sponsored ad came up, and I'm like,
oh, this is cute.
I'm over there bad. Hibachi. Like
a lot of the like clothing boutiques that I found, even like people who offer services in Atlanta, like my brows, and I don't know. We know like, you know, your phone, like it knows what you're searching just based off of what you're thinking. Like if you know, you know. Like they know. I could be thinking about like going to get my brows tinted or laminated, and like somebody on my timeline pop up from a sponsored ad who does that service. Like I've met so many people or have learned about so many people that I have went to follow because of their sponsored ads.
Yeah, so I think don't be afraid to like put that type of money in it. I think some people shy away from it because they're like, oh, I don't think it's gonna work for me. But again, like you don't know who's gonna see it, and that person who sees it could be the person to help you pivot in your business. So boost post, and it allows you to again choose how much money you want to put in. And I always say like do it in dosage. Maybe start out with $20, and then if you like, okay, this is working, maybe $50,
maybe $100,
and just kind of keep going. But again, put money where it works. If it doesn't work for you, maybe you have to pivot. And I want to pivot to the Facebook ad thing.
I love Facebook.
I know, and I want you to teach me Facebook.
Not even for like promotion, just for browsing.
No, she loves Facebook, and I still can't get it. Like I'm scarred from Facebook because when I was younger, y'all don't laugh, I made a Facebook. My mama told me not to, and I made it River the Sosa Diddy Barbie.
I know that's
ate me up. I told you, and she deleted my Facebook, and I've just been kind of hurt ever since. Not
in my time frame, that was Bebo. Everybody's parent was like, "Don't create a Bebo."
But my mom didn't know what Bebo was. So.
Man, my daddy printed off my profile from Bebo. And I was in there like going crazy.
Look, subscribe for the Bebo content. But no, the thing I love about Facebook is I feel like the ads that you can run on Facebook now, they are like
top tier, but you have to invest a little bit more.
Yeah,
I will say that on Facebook ads, you're going to invest a little bit more than like your 20 or 30. It probably will go in more so in the 100, 200 range. But what I like about Facebook is it differs age range because like you have your, what is it, Gen X, your boomers, and then you have your millennials and your Gen Z. So it's like you have a platform of all different people, and that's more helpful than Instagram, where you kind of mostly have millennials and Gen Z.
I think the big thing too, like to your point, is that especially depending on your business, like I'm in real estate, don't fight me, but I want the baby boomers.
I don't discriminate.
I want the people that's tapping into their pensions. I want to retire. I want everybody. You know what I mean? So like maybe for people who, just depending on who your audience is, I think Facebook ads are great. I personally have not figured out how to do them, y'all. I made a Facebook ad. It was so ugly. And I was like, this is horrible. And I got 3 people that called me. One lady, she was looking for like a senior citizen retirement. I cannot make this up. I'm like, I'm happy to help you. That wasn't really the ideal audience I was going for. And I was like, maybe I just need to stop. Like, it's a real strategy, I feel like, with Facebook ads. And so I feel like before you dump dollars into that, I would personally like really look into like how to properly do Facebook
test
ads.
It out further. You can start with $50. You can start low, but test it out.
It's an art. It's an art too. I feel like with Instagram boost posts, if you got a post and you like, this eats.
But now the boost posts do also go to Instagram as well. Okay, I mean, go to Facebook as well. Yeah. They just, I see that now. It's like, oh, do you want to share it on Facebook as well? Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Put my dollars everywhere.
Put it on there as well. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I love that. So I think adding on to the social media, one thing that I use a lot of are like those apps. One that can help you with like your print kind of stuff, but even like your video editing. We know like TikTok, that's where all the girls at. But if you're not using CapCut
is so easy.
If you're not using CapCut, you are doing yourself a disservice.
I think that goes into like your consistency, because I feel like you can do a sponsor post, all the things, but like if that's all you're doing, it's not gonna work out. Yep. Consistently posting, like 3 to 4 times per week.
I agree.
That's free. It just takes a little bit of your time for you to plan it, but like if we ball on a budget and you like, what can I do? Post every single day. I don't care if it's twice a day, 3 times a day. Post it. I don't care if you got 50 likes, 5,000 likes, post it, because you never know. Like,
and that's what I love about CapCut though, because it's like, even if you don't have like a whole bunch of content, you can use CapCut to really design your videos. For those of you guys who are not familiar, CapCut is like a video editing software. And what I like about it is it has templates. So like, let's say you see a video on CapCut and you like, dang, I like the way that it's edited. You can literally select the video, throw your own clips in there, and it like edits and makes it for you. Anyway, I'm really like, I'm trying to think of a nice way to like say this about myself. I'm like tech slow. Like
you are not. You say that, but
I'm
you've
getting
been
better.
like,
no, I'm getting better.
Yeah, you've been eating the girls up.
I really just don't know how to use a lot of technology, and I think I like CapCut because it's like, okay, I went out today. I got a day in the life. I go on CapCut. I type in day in the life. I see a template. I'm like,
let me copy that and put my put my clips in there,
throw my videos in there, and it makes it for me. So it just kind of helps you, because it is hard to like just go in and like make stuff and make it super like clean cut and do it on your own. Use the tools that are going to help you like forward stuff with your video.
When I tell you last night I was up, I couldn't even go to sleep last night because I'm making a video on CapCut. But I feel like we know that like reels are trending. Yeah. We know that like you need to put video content out for people to come to your page. And I think that's another thing, balling on a budget but still marketing. You got to know your market to even know what you need to put out. So study the market. Like if they're saying that reels are up, if they're saying that carousels are up, you need to be posting those things.
And make sure you're doing it
consistently.
I think the other thing is that, using stuff like Canva and Etsy.
Oh, me and Canva.
Real bad.
We like Molly and Mike.
We like Molly and Mike for real.
Canva Pro. That's $13.99 per month.
It is worth it. I think I use Canva Pro at least 2 or 3 times a week.
I love Canva. You know what I really love about Canva Pro? That background remover.
I was gonna say that. What's your favorite tool? It's the thing on Canva, y'all. Like if you take a picture, like if I take a picture of me and Tiesha right now
on this chair,
I can remove the background and it's just us two sitting on these mics. Those kind of things are really just good for like your promo and your things like that. Y'all use Canva and use Etsy.
Flyers, brochures, retractable banners,
everything.
Literally every email templates, literally everything you need. In Canva. You just have to take the time to do it. But if you don't want to take the time to like find a template and edit it, Etsy.
I'm super big on not reinventing the wheel. Like one thing about me, I feel like we work in a business that's really time consuming. Like I can't type up a contract and type a create like I can't do both of those things
I'm like,
at
this
once.
flyer looks good. Just put me right there.
Going on Etsy, like literally anything you guys are looking for is there. I think for me personally, like one of the best things I ever bought off Etsy is like my buyer guides.
Oh, okay.
And so we have like these print things that we use like when we're onboarding a new client, and it just really gives them like a full scope of the buyer processes. Like, of course, I talk to them about it, but it's always good to give your client something tangible. I went on Etsy, I found a template that worked, and I just was able to customize it, right? It goes into Canva. You can customize it from there, make it your color, colors, your scheme, your everything. And again, it's you not having to reinvent the wheel, but also being able to be consistent and on a budget with your branding.
On a budget. And I think another thing off of Etsy, sometimes like Etsy, you can kind of see when people are kind of like buying the same templates. Because like, if you're a nail tech, you type it in nail tech flyer. If you're a hairstylist, you like hairstylist promo flyer. Fiverr.
Oh,
Fiverr.
you put me
Don't
on that
forget
one.
about
You put me on Fiverr.
Like, we got our media kit done for like, what? I don't know how much. It was
inexpensive for sure.
Very inexpensive. We got a media kit. We got a lot of things done. Yeah. Our cover, everything done on Fiverr. And it was like $5, $10.
Yeah, because I think what people got to realize is like this podcast is another subset of our business. Yes, so like outside of like what we do as individual agents, like we still got to have marketing. We still got to have branding. I know y'all see, look at,
this is a part of our entrepreneurial
I know you
journey.
see the color grading. We had to pay for that, okay? It's very expensive to have a podcast. So even just like the little stuff of like, the branding for this podcast.
This is a part of our entrepreneur journey. Like in addition to our everyday work, like this podcast is work and our jobs.
And we have to pay.
But Fiverr, if you need something like more custom, you have like a specific idea, but you just can't put the elements together, get on Fiverr. Get you somebody to design you a flyer. Whatever you need, just type it in.
Yeah.
Whatever you need. And they got it. They'll do your custom. You tell them your ideas, you send them your pictures, you send them your content, and they put you something together.
And they'll work with you because one thing I really do like is that they will like give you like a first edit. Yeah. And then you can say, oh, I may not like this and I want that. Like they really work with you. Yeah. To me, it's almost
unlimited
like having
revisions. Buy the package with unlimited revisions.
It's almost like having you like a social media manager at the tip of your fingers, just like for a really, really low cost. So if you are starting a business, you want your marketing to be strong, you want to have a logo, you want to have a brand scheme, color scheme, make sure you're reaching out to somebody on Fiverr, Etsy to really build a brand package before you launch. So that's not lazy with your launch. Like you want your launch to go up, kind of like how we did for Hustle. Hey. So I think another thing that's really important when we talk about branding on a budget is your sphere of influence. Like this is the sphere lady.
My family and friends love me, and I love them back real bad.
Mine getting knuckles.
I love them real bad. So like, most of my clientele comes from like people I know, whether it's from family or friends that I've met just on my journeys, college, when I lived in New York, wherever I've been, I've met someone and I have kept that relationship. And my first client actually came from one of my friends in New York. And then my second client came from like one of my friends from Hemingway when I grew up. It's just like most of my clients come from people that I know. And I think that just kind of speaks volumes. Like, you guys trust me. You guys love me. And I love that. So like I do invest a lot of my dollars into my sphere of influence as far as like, for example, with my past clients, I recently started this like custom magazine that I send out to them every quarter that gives them tips on like home maintenance, what type of upgrades to do in the house, like if they need like an idea of like what their house is worth, they can contact me, all these different things. Like it has like little recipes in there. It's very just more so like just to keep me top of mind. So my sphere of influence this year for me in particular is who I will be investing in. Social media in my sphere of influence are the things that I'm going to put my marketing dollars into.
I think
but it doesn't cost a lot.
No,
those magazines are like very inexpensive. Very.
I think the best part about what you said is I think like we always look at the end of the year and figure out like what we did the year prior
that
made
worked
it work
and didn't work.
And I think after you take a look at your book of business and figure out where all those people came from, like you said, from yours, it was your sphere of influence. So now we know in 2024, that's where I'm putting my motion into. That's where I'm putting my money into.
Let me show y'all some love.
I think the biggest thing about sphere of influence that people forget is just that interaction. I just had an incident, not an incident necessarily, but I was like on the phone with like one of my best friends. He is literally like my older brother, y'all. Like when they say we so tight, you cannot tell us apart. Like that is how it is. His mother, who again, I've known him my whole life, is a real estate attorney.
Oh.
In Chicago. And literally like I was telling him on this deal, like, oh my God, I'm having this attorney, like, And he was like, why do you ain't call mom? And I was like, oh my gosh, she is but we just never talk about business because like every time, we talk about surface level things, we just never talk deeper into it. And it just kind of slipped my mind. That kind of thing really just makes you realize like you never know who in your sphere of influence, one, can impact your business, or two, you can realign with your business. And so I always tell people with their sphere of influence, make sure you're checking in.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you're just reaching out like, hey, girl, like, I'm
when
a
they
realtor.
say go
like,
through your call log, literally
it.
go through your call log. Like, you literally never. And I'd be like, oh, like, my college dean, like, called me the other day about a partnership. I love my college dean. I love him.
But I think that's the problem, though. I think a lot of people shy away from it because you feel like, oh, I don't want to bother them, but it's like you're not bothering. What did we say on
We're
that episode?
adults,
Don't be
like,
be
don't be
shameless.
shameless, y'all. Be
Be shameless. I
shameless.
think that's the tricky part with spirit influence. I think the reason a lot of people can't utilize it well is because they're too prideful to like reach out to somebody and be like, hey, I just want to remind you, like, I do nails. And if you know somebody wants to get their nails done, I would love to, be their nail tech because you feel like you're begging sometimes, like me personally.
But you know what another feeling is? Not that you feel like you're begging, but like if you're not the type of person, and this is another thing, me, and I can only ever speak for myself.
Yeah.
If you're not, I am terrible with just like reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And just calling them in general, whether business or personal. Like I'm just not good at reaching out. So I feel like when I first got started, I felt like I didn't want to reach out to my sphere of influence because I didn't want them to think, oh, she just calling me because, she got her real estate license.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like.
I think that's that be shame. What's the word? Shameless?
Be shameless.
I think that's it. I think that's what it is. I think it's that whole idea of like, you think you're going to call somebody and they're going to take it this way or take it the wrong way. But
they could though. You got some people who will.
But
and those are the people you don't want to be in business with.
That's not your sphere. They're not influential. I think, again, you got to put your pride to the side and just call the people around you. And again, just don't be afraid to say, hey,
Thank you for reading me on the episode.
Me?
Yeah, that was a read.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Girl,
what you do?
A good one though. Like, girl.
I will read you for Phil, girl. I had to say what I got to say. But call y'all spirit influence. Call the people around y'all. Just remind them, like, this is my business. And if you know somebody who might be interested in this service, I would love your referral. What did they say? Your referral is what?
Yeah.
My greatest
But first be like, how are you? How are the kids?
Check in. Don't be shady.
How are you? How's the wife? How's the kids? How's the husband? And then get into it.
And then get into the business. And I think the last one would probably be the networking.
Oh, yeah. Get into these rooms, especially if like you're in a new place, a new space. Even if you like currently living where you're from, you have to get into these rooms, go into these events, introduce yourself, walk into the room like you are the boss that you are, and like network. Take those business cards. People think business cards don't work. I don't care if they're digital or they're physical. Just have the business cards, because you just kind of never know. Like I've been in so many situations where they're like, "Oh, like give me your business card." I don't have my physical one, but I got my digital one. Let me text it to you. Like I got somebody that I might, need to.
They need something.
I don't care if it's the family reunion, the high school football game, the college homecoming. I don't care what it is. I am always networking.
No, I think that's the thing. I feel like trying to buy home. I think people got to remember, like, it's something different about having a seat at that table.
Yeah.
Like, being able to get to the table is cool, but do you have a seat? Because you could be standing on the side of that table and you're not going to get that same level of impact. I think, for me, it's something I shy away from, again, because I always talk about the fact that, like, I just don't know how much of me I ever want to bring.
Wait, what do you shy away from?
From networking. Like,
when?
How many real estate events have you seen me in our tenure here?
Oh, real estate events. But I mean, like any other place we go, you are just doing the do.
I mean, if we out in public and it's different, I'm getting into my bag easily. But like even networking within my industry, right? I think it's something that I've always pulled back from. But again, I had an agent today who I told her, like, hey, my team does leasing. So if you know somebody with lease, she called me like, girl, I had this client call me about leasing. You know I don't fool with that. I'm finna send me your number. And I'm just like, okay, girl, thank you for thinking about me. But like, again, having a seat at the table, no matter what that table looks like, is always going to be important, because you never know, again, who you may rub elbows with. And look at us. We rubbed elbows and now look at us. Rubbing my elbow. No, I think networking I think it's just important. Like, you never know, again, who is going to help you pivot in your business or who's going to be influential.
And that's in every aspect of your life, not just like industry events. You know what I'm saying? Like, anywhere you go to the grocery store, I don't care.
The grocery store, I ain't gonna
have a shirt on. I love going out. I'm gonna give me some custom shirts. I have these shirts that got realtor.
I gotta do that. Get you some like branding. You are your brand. So every time you step out,
your brand.
Network and take your brand with you. Your business cards,
and ball it on a
everything.
budget. It does not cost much to do that.
It's actually free. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
To network, to call your sphere of influence, to use social media, like all of these things truly are free. Of course, if you have the dollars to add it, go for it. But I really want everybody to stop thinking, oh, I got to get a professional photographer and I got to do this and I got to, because that's the only way.
Take really good pictures now.
You know, did you see that thing that they said Usher shot his music video on the iPhone 15?
No, for real.
I'm gonna send y'all a little link on the thing.
And I got an iPhone 15. We're gonna leave here and we're gonna go shoot.
And shoot, we're gonna go shoot a music video after this. Okay. Literally, you can ball on the budget, you can build a brand on the budget, and that brand can still eat and really take it to the next level. So don't be quick to dump your dollars into, again, like professional photography and all that stuff, especially early on when you don't have the money.
If you don't have to.
Use what you can. And that's gonna always be
enough.
And
make it work. Like, you can always improve. Everything doesn't have to be perfect the first time.
You got room to grow.
You got room to grow.
Period.
Cheers to growth.
Cheers to growth. Look at my little drink.
Cheers to growth,
I'll
y'all.
be doing a matrix trying to get the cup. Like, okay, cheers to growth.
Cheers to growth.
And cheers to y'all tuning into Hustle Haven. We will catch y'all next Monday on the next episode.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye.